I only speak English, and the Japanese I've studied here. I did German GCSE, but didn't actually do a language at A-level. So I guess compared to other people in my course, that's a bit unusual. But
I guess I grew up in Thailand, and particularly in Bangkok, there's a huge Japanese expat community. There are a lot of Japanese companies in Thailand, and I guess I didn't find it. I guess from my perspective, it would be the equivalent of someone who grew up in Britain studying French or German. I just found it a natural kind of interest from that. It didn't seem a strange jump to make, if that makes sense.
So I have quite a few friends at school who are from Japan, and they were generally very keen to talk about and share their culture with me and my other friends. So I guess it was kind of through that I first had an interest. So I guess it was mainly that, but then I also went on to read Japanese literature and stuff, and I realised that it was probably something that I would like to study at university, I guess. So.
There's a big difference based on the nature of the course, because especially the first and the second year, and the second year is when you go abroad, is very much language based. So the first year is trying to get you prepared for a year abroad, and then the second year is in Japan, so you have to do a lot of Japanese language. And then in the third year it's a bit less intense, but I think where in school usually you prepare for some sort of examination at the end of the year, like A-levels or GCSE or something, it's much more sort of goal-oriented here, in that it wants to get you ready for the year abroad so that you can really get a lot out of your time in Japan, and then of course being in Japan is a completely different way from learning at school, right? Because you're in the country, you get to interact with people, and especially where we go, Kobe, they speak quite a different dialect from the standard Japanese, and so you kind of go there, and even though you speak Japanese quite well, you don't understand what people are saying at all, right? But then once you get into it, it's fine. I mean, I lived there for 3 years, and I didn't really get anything that was going on until I then went back, having learned Japanese more intensely here. So I mean, it's quite the level of language learning here is quite. It's not too difficult or anything, but it's very strict. It's very well, strict is the wrong word, but you get your share of Japanese language learning here that you wouldn't get at school, I think.
Even if not just for employment prospects or anything, I think just being able to speak or to some extent to think in another language, it is important, because I realize that I'm a slightly different person in different languages just because of how language shapes what you say and how you say it.
I think for people who have the opportunity available to them, it's definitely a good thing to be able to do. As Jenny said, it's not just for employment purposes, but to help, I guess, understand other people and other cultures. And if you can only speak one language, you might be at a slight disadvantage in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, the world is moving closer together, isn't it? You have mass communication, you have the internet. You cannot run from people of other cultures, and not everyone speaks English. As much as we try to, think that everyone speaks English, most Japanese people, they even if they speak it quite well, they're quite hesitant to speak it. So especially with that kind of a culture, it's definitely an advantage to be able to communicate in the native language with the people there.